Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody? All right? Good, good. Firstly, big thank you for turning out such big numbers for today's latest edition of the Crawley Town Fans Forum here at the checkertrade.com Stadium. For those of you, and obviously introducing our new management, for those of you who haven't been to one before, it's a simple formula of you supporters answering questions to Mark and to Jimmy, and obviously I'll be bringing the microphone to yourselves. So obviously we're going to try and keep it free-flowing, enjoyable, and we'll be looking to sort of round things up at around quarter past 8 to 8:30. So enjoy it, get what you want out of it. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Mark Yates and Jimmy Dack. So, the big one. Who wants to go first? Oh, very sharp. You went first. Go one ahead and big to one sec, sir. Just like to say your name just before you ask Mark or Jimmy a question.
Yeah, hi there, Mark and Jimmy. My name's Royston. I've supported for many years here. Although I live in Burgess, so I do come up to the Crawley games and a lot of the away games. Got a few questions here, but I'll just do one question initially to give everybody else a chance. So basically the first question is, what ambitions do you and the club have for the following season with regards to promotion back to League One?
Can everybody hear that? So I'll move it forward a bit. Move that forward a bit. Any better? Yep. Yeah, at the back? Yeah. My personal ambition is matched by the football club that we want to try and compete, be competitive and do as well as we can. It's going to be a tough league. It is every season. You know, I'm involved in particularly the football side. Sorry. Is that better? That better? I'll speak into the microphone now, I suppose. It's to be competitive. We've not got, I think everybody knows, we've not got the budgets that we've perhaps had over the past few years that have got the club where it's got to. But listen, I'm more than confident that we'll be sometime between the 1st of July and the 8th of August when we start pre-season and the season starts, that we'll have a competitive, strong squad with young, hungry players who are desperate to do well for Crawley Town, and that's all I can promise people. That my recruitment drive is vital at the moment. Myself and Jimmy are working our socks off, although you probably don't think that with the signings that I haven't made, but there's lots going on behind the scenes, and believe me, my ambition this season is to get this club as high up that table as we can, and for me, it's playoffs is where we have to aim for at least. And you're writing it down, so you're going to question me again later. I like it.
Well, so yeah, I'll say go back to the same answer. Yeah, because that was going to be my second question about playoff place being your minimum target at least. You know, I mean, because I know this league's going to be competitive. With some of the teams coming up from the conference, which are national now. Yeah. You know, as I say, teams coming down as well with us as well. So you've got some strong sides come down with us. So it's going to be very hard for you this season.
Of course it is, but we hear and see even more from what we know of what people are doing at other clubs and stuff like that. And if I told you some of the stuff, wow. Fees people are paying and wages people are paying, but listen, that's life. One thing I am right from the start is I'm a realist. I deal with what I can deal with, what I can affect, what I can influence. There's no point in wishing that we could do things that we can't do. So I'll always tell it straight. I'll try and be as honest as I can with you. There'll be things that I try and keep a little bit back sometimes because I'm trying to do deals with certain players or things that I just can't quite involve everybody with, but you'll all know in good time as and when we do things. I'm a professional person. Jimmy's the same, and we've not come here just because it's a job, because it's a route back into football, and it's just something that we're going to do for the next 2 years. If I have that attitude, I'll be out in 6 months, less than that, and that's not what I'm about. the reason I recruit, I got Jimmy on board, and I'm trying to bring in people that I'm bringing in, is that we're grafters, we're workers, and we'll make every use of the money that we've got to make it the best team we've got, the best backup support team that I can get behind that squad of players that are out there. And just my thing to start with is just to make the club just, and this is no disrespect to what's gone on before because it's had tremendous success, it's just from speaking to the players, just to make the club just a little bit more professional. People seem to forget that this club's only been in the Football League for 4 years, and because it got straight into League One, I think that seems to be forgotten. That, you know, and that just things that we want to improve all the time, and that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to do it as well and as quickly as we can.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mark. Pass you to the next person. Just like to introduce yourself, please, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ron Spraggett. I've been a supporter since 1958. I think I'll go for everyone. We've had some wonderful years, the last few years. Unfortunately, last year we fell off the rails. I think you'll all agree with me, last year we were punching well above our weight. And having said that, the system we played was one up front and everyone back whenever the other team approached our half, resulting in the second highest goals against in the league. Can we expect anything different this year?
Yes.
Over to you, Jimmy.
There you go, Jim.
That's not. I'll give Jimmy the easy ones, all right? It's me that you really sort of want answers from, and I get that. But we are a team. I was aware of the goals against, quite aware of it. How do I like my teams to play? I like my teams to play on the front foot. I like my teams to go and press teams, go and get in people's faces, go and be exciting to watch. But can I say wholeheartedly that we're going to play two up front? There's going to be times I play two up front. There's going to be times I play three up front. There's going to be times I play. I always think it's three up front with your wide players. But then if the system works 4-5-1 or 4-3-3, it's a great system, and people don't even think, they're only playing one up front. It's what you make it, and I think last year the club has been punching above its weight and doing a tremendous job. It was only on the last day of the season that the club actually got, relegated. So that's, credit to them. I've got some good players already here, and I'm trying to build on that. And I just, all I have to do is bring exciting, attacking football, whether I play one up front, two up front, three up front, five up front. Hopefully you'll just be taken by what we're trying to do, and you'll see the effort that the boys are putting in. I think if you see that, I think you'll be pleased with what we're trying to do. That's not saying I'm not going to play two up front, but you understand where I'm coming from. There's no point in me saying, yeah, I'll never do that. First game of the season, we play Portsmouth away and I'll play one up front. And do you know, it's one of them for me. Like I say, I'll say things that it is, and I'll try and be as honest as I can.
Just a quick try. The only frustrating thing was when there's always 10 men in your own penalty area.
No, we won't be that. I'm not like that.
Good, that's fine.
I'm sure I'll get other questions later in the evening about the type of players we're bringing in and stuff like that, and hopefully that'll come in with that.
Okay, so bearing in mind what's been sort of asked and answered already, who would like to go next?
Okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, John Barnes.
Nice.
I had it before him. I did have it before him, yeah.
Goal at Brazil.
Yeah, like his money, yeah. Mark, we're really pleased that you've come here, because everybody I talk to thinks it was a good appointment. And also, a lot of us here go to away games. I do, a lot of us here. And the last straw, I think, for a lot of us was at Walsall when we got really stuffed. We don't mind losing. I don't suppose anybody minds losing if they play well, but that was terrible. And what's coming across from you is you're honest. You're not saying, oh, I'm going to take you up this year. And that's what supporters want. They don't want to be lied to. They just want to be told the truth. And I personally, and I hope these people feel the same, you two is a good appointment for this club, and I think we're going to have a good season this year. I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Very positive.
We can't promise anything, but what you'll get from us, and I said earlier, is we're both grafters. We both know the division. We both know what we think it takes to be a strong, competitive team. And although I'm saying to you, we haven't got the biggest budget, that's irrelevant. Because when I go to, who do we say is the biggest budgets? Portsmouths, the Cambridges, the Lutons, the likes of that. I expect to win every game that I go out and play, and that's the philosophy I have with our 11 players. We will think.
The thing is, Mark, your last club, you played attractive football, and yet you've done very well with them. And I think all of us here, I think we're in for a good time this year. I really do. Because last year, everybody would tell you it was a disaster. It really was. You know, blokes wanted to throw this off the bridge and everything. You know, but it really was. It was embarrassing. It was so bad. Some of it was embarrassing. You know.
From my first impressions of coming in and meeting the people downstairs, it's a real nice football club. There's some really nice people in and around it. Sometimes, you know, what happened last season happened for whatever reasons. All I can say is it's a fresh start. We've got different ideas to perhaps what other people had, you know, last season, and we'll just do things our way. We'll be as honest as we can. We're not two disciplinarians. We're not two people who crack the whips, and we want to treat the players like adults. We want to give them responsibility. We want to try and get them to buy into what we're trying to do, and we think the best way of doing that is by encouragement, is by doing your work on the training ground, recruitment of the right people to start with, which is what we're trying to do at the moment, which we're getting on pretty well with, but we're just trying to do things as well as we can and to be as successful as we can next season. Like I said, I can't guarantee things, but I want you to know that you'll get 99% of the time this season, you'll get 100% effort from the players that I'm trying to bring in.
Thanks, thanks, John.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We've also opened up the fans forum to our online media as well. We've just got a quick question here from Dan on the Reds wall. It's quite an open one. How many players will you be signing this summer? It's quite open. No pressure.
There's like, you're all giggling and I get that, but it's football. That I think we've got a nucleus of what was left from last season. The people who've got contracts and the couple that we've sort of got on top of that. Realistically, I'm aiming for a squad. And Michael's there, stood at me going, "Go on then, say something." And I'm going, we'll have between, if I say 20, it'll be either side of 20, 19, 21, something like that. Wherever we can best make the use of our money. Whatever, I'm going to push and push and push to get the best I can. The reason you're not hearing a great deal about signings is we've got lots to do, and we're just trying to do it as quickly as we can, as thoroughly as we can, and we're trying to get the best we can for what we've got. There's no point me rushing in. I could go and film a squad with 20 players tomorrow, or I could have done it 3 weeks ago. No problem in the slightest. But I want to get the best that are going to do you, the supporters, do me, Jimmy, and my staff that I'm going to get as proud as we can. You know, every Saturday for 46 league games and hopefully some cup games. And it's just taken a little bit of time to get. We've actually shook hands over the phone on a couple of good deals today, haven't we? Yeah. If you can do that, I was hoping that'd get a little. Well, you know it. You take people's word, you know, and there's some hopefully the right characters that we're trying to sign. So there'll be stuff coming out over the next few weeks. We're non-stop at the minute. We've got a little bunker down our office, but I don't see daylight from 8 o'clock in the morning until sort of 7 o'clock at night. And it's just, we know that, you know, we've been given this opportunity and we're going to make the most of it. that's what we're about, Jim.
We're just trying to get players that are here for the right reasons. I think they've got to have a bit of desire, and you know, we're speaking to quite a few, but they've got to tick the boxes. What Mark's all about, and this football club all about. I think you know, you've had a bad year last year, and I think we need to change the mentality in that group of players. And obviously, the ones we bring in, they've got to be enthusiastic, and they've got to have a desire to want to play for this football club, and you know, have a desire to want to come into work every day. And you know, we are talking to lots of players, but they've got to be the right ones. You know, there's no point in being willy-nilly and making signings when they're not going to be right for this football club. You know, it's not about money. It's got to be about their desire to want to play for a manager and want to take this club forward, and that's what we're trying to do.
Brilliant. Thanks, gents. Okay, let's have someone towards the back, maybe. Anyone? There we go. Come to you in a minute, Carol. Wouldn't be the same without the say your name.
Oh yeah, it's Antonio here. Welcome, James. Just talking about signings and that, what are you sort of prioritising position-wise?
We've had obviously had a bit of time to look at it, and while we've decided to prioritise goalkeeper, a right-sided centre half, and a centre midfield player. Those are my three. Once I get those, I'll know where I'm going with everything else. That's not to say that we're not talking to forwards, to wide players, to attacking midfield players, but the certainly the first two. The keeper one's taking a little bit of time at the moment, but I think it's just important that we get the right one whenever that comes along. We've got options open, and we're talking to a few, but we just want to get the right type. I think through the middle of the team, if we get that sorted, then we can just build off around it.
Are you looking for more sort of younger players?
I'm looking, yeah.
Experience.
Age doesn't really bother me. It really doesn't. I took a lad to Cheltenham who was probably 30, 31 at the time, and he'd been there, and since been there for nearly the 5 years that I was there. And he was magnificent for me. Stevie Elliott, who'd been at Derby and some good clubs, and he was magnificent. But I think at the moment I'm just after. The range would be from something, I don't know, early 22, 23 to 28, 29. Just we've got a little bit of experience at football league or whatever level they're at, and just a bit of know-how, intelligent, hopefully intelligent footballers, but just people who want to run through a brick wall for you, but also who can play football. I want my teams to play. I want my teams to get the ball down, but I can categorically tell you that my two centre backs aren't going to go and stand on the 6-yard box either side of the 6, but like Barcelona. We're not going to be stupid. We're I'm a pragmatic manager. We'll play the league. We've got to be competitive. We've got to have people in there who can defend set pieces, who can score goals from set pieces. But we'll also have that mix of youth and a little bit of experience. You need legs. You need energy. You need some drive in there. That's what I'm trying to do, and hopefully that will come across with the people that I'm signing as and when we get them done.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Carol, ready?
Evening. Last season, a few times, well, quite a lot of the times, fans felt disassociated. I just wondered what plans that you had to involve the fans with what you're doing. I know I've talked to you already, and you seem the right people to sort of chat to anybody. I just wondered if you have any plans to involve the fans more with what you're doing.
It's something that we know we've got to do. We know we've got to engage with the fans. You have to. A club like this, where everyone matters, it's important that you do have that relationship. How that works, you know, we'll have to work that along. But at the minute, we're trying to just. I mean, Jimmy's supposed to be washing his hair tonight, and I've dragged him along to come to part of this. I just think it's important that we do communicate with you, but there's only so much I can do. You know, if I was talking to somebody earlier, and there was a breakfast club here this morning, and somebody said, you know, how often do you listen to the supporters when they, you know, when a manager's left the star striker on a bench and something like that, and he's singing for his name to come on, and you know, sort of that. Do managers listen to him? And you do, but sometimes I've known managers like resent what the fans have said, and he's staying there, he's keeping them quiet. But there has to be a dialogue, of course, there does. And I'm not a yes man. Everyone in this room has got their own little opinions about every single player, every single format, every formation we should play, how we should play our football, what we should do, Unfortunately, I'm the only one who can actually put that into plan right now. And you know, alongside Jimmy, we'll try and make every decision as right as we can for the right reasons. There'll be no favourites. It'll just be on what we think is the right thing to win games of football. We'll have forums. We'll go out. You know, I'm sort of moving down. I don't quite know where I'm moving to yet. I haven't even thought about that. But I'm throwing myself into it. Jimmy's half an hour up the road. I can't say to you, listen, I'll listen to everything you say and I'll act upon it. I'll listen to it and I'll have to take in what I can and do what I can. But like I said, I'll be as honest as I can as well. We were here the other night, and it's nothing, but we went and watched him, some ladies playing football.
Yeah, that's the fact, yeah. There she is, there's the Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, yeah, absolutely. You know, we understand that there's got to be that connection with supporters, with the local community, and like, the players will be going out and doing their bit, because that's what they have to do, and I think quite rightly so. And we'll do whatever what we can to make relationships good between us all. But I'm sure some people will not like what we do and disagree with what we do. I can honestly say that we'll just be doing things what we think is that we've got no agenda. We've got a clean slate, if you like. We've come in. It was me and the doctor for a week, and you know, we talked football, and he was actually not bad. It's just we've got a clean slate, and we want to do. All I can say is we're going to do everything we can to bring success to this football club this season, whatever that is.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, so we're about 30 odd minutes here, so plenty of time left. Who would like to go up next? And
you ready?
there you go. Just like to state your name and who your questions are directed at.
Hi, my name's Phil Day. To Mark, last season we had two centre-halves on loan. Walden Wood. Baldy come from Swindon. I know he's quite happy staying at Crawley. Is there any chance to get these guys back? They're two good centre-halves, you know, both ends of the pitch.
Okay. I've spoken to Darren's agent a couple of times, and we're in contact all the time. It's something I've got to weigh up. I don't want to go into specific people because it's not fair on them, and then, well, why am I talking about them when I'm not? You know, or maybe doing this, maybe doing that. Darren's a player that I know that did pretty well here. I've got to evaluate what am I going to get out of a player, and I've got to say, what does he fit into what I want to do? And like I said before, that'll become evident over the coming weeks. I think you'll see the type I'm after. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to talk about specifics, and sort of disrespect them in any way. I don't want them thinking. You know, I know Darren's a good player, and I know he's a really decent chap. And I said I have spoken to his agent a couple of times. One of them this week. Is it the route I'm going down? I don't know yet. I want some experience, but I've got to my judgment's got to be, particularly that spinal team. I want some experience, but do I want someone who's got a little bit, you know, quite mobile, aggressive? Not that Darren wasn't and isn't, but I have to weigh these up, and that's the thing I'm doing. Richard Wood, I know, did terrific here. I spoke to Steve Evans about him, and he knew how well he'd done here. But if I get loans for centre halves, come probably, in all realistic, come later in the season. Richard Wood, I'm not going to go and get Richard Wood because he's probably on far too much money. I don't know, I know he's on far too much money, and he's part of, I think he's got a year left at Rotherham, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Darren's slightly different because he's
Been released.
out of contract. So I just have to weigh everything up. I think it'll become apparent that I'm probably going to tell you, I'm after some, I've said before, I'm after some legs, some energy, whether it's at centre half, and that's not saying that a 36-year-old can't have that. I just need to.
Can I just say something, Mike?
Of course you
I
can.
know there's a lot of things that you can't tell us, and I appreciate that because obviously you're working and we don't know. But what is the situation with McLeod? Can you talk about that? Is there any chance he'll be here next year?
Yeah, of course there is, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody minds John speaking again, the other speaking up, yeah. Listen, for me, I want him here. I'm the manager of the football club. There's nobody at this football club trying to get rid of Isaac McLeod.
No.
Nobody. Not anybody. Michael, the board, nobody. Us as staff, we're desperately thinking, right, if we've got Isaac McLeod in League 2 next season, we've got a chance. How many goals can we get?
Yeah.
But football's one of those industries where anything can happen. You have to be ready for it, you have to be aware of it. We're obviously aware of it. And we have to deal with whatever comes up. If everyone's got a price on their head,
Yeah.
if we got an offer that was the right thing for the football club, then whatever. But I'm the manager of football, and all I want to do is get everything right underneath and in the background. But ultimately, it's about what I do on a Saturday. It's about my team going out there and performing. And if I've got Isaac McLeod, from what I know, I've probably got a better chance than if I've got me or Jimmy up front. So, thank you.
Okay, just taking another question quickly from the Reds wall that's come through. It's come from Lee, and it's a bit more of a logistical question, obviously still football related. Lee asks, have you visited the training ground, and is it going to still be at Oakwood, or have you got other plans for somewhere else?
I think me not saying anything is probably the best thing of that. Oakwood is what it is. I don't want to listen. At the minute, we're going back to Oakwood on the 1st of July, you know, and that's probably all I want to say on the matter.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everybody? And that's, I don't want to put a club that, you know, put somewhere down that we, you know, are going to be using or not.
Brilliant. Okay, Mark. Anyone else from the floor? Still got plenty of time here. Anyone want to speak to Jimmy about why he's come back, his heyday? Anyone used to watch him here? Or back at the town meeting?
Nobody else wants to ask a question as well. Sorry, Mark and Jim, it's me again. Reference the players you're looking at for some legs and experience and that. Would you ever look at some of the local teams around here? I mean, obviously I mentioned kind of Burgess still, and one of our players was sold to Hull City last season, and he's playing now in the under-21, scoring many goals. I know they actually loaned him out to Port Vale as well. You played him up at Port Vale, that's Greg Lure, but they've got 4 players in contract now, and they've got lots of young, very good, exciting players there and scoring many goals. Also, they want promotion from their league, and that's obviously getting the league closer to us now, and you play them in a couple of weeks' time. They're friendly
We
as
are.
well.
I'll start, and I'm going to pass it on to my local scout, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you know, Scunthorpe signed a player from Hendon today and stuff like that. If I think they're good enough, it doesn't matter where they come from. We've got, through Jimmy in particular, I mean, Jimmy's not far away, knows this area like the back of his hand. He's given us so many leads, he's given me so many leads into different things already. He's been invaluable already. For me, it doesn't matter necessarily where they're playing, as long as we think they're good enough and have belief in it that they're good enough. We need to know that, and we need to really believe that, especially somewhere like Burgess Hill. But we do know that we know they've got 2 or 3 players in particular that we'd be keeping an eye on. You know, we're not football snobs that they've got to come from the Premier League or from whatever else, academies, whatever. we are more than happy to take people out of the lower regions of football. And if they're good enough, it doesn't matter where they come from. Jimmy's a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, since I come here, one thing I learned, obviously, there's no youth team here, and which, you know, there's not a problem with that. But I still think you've got to have one eye on all the local talent, and you know, there is plenty of good local talent. There's no doubt about that. We took a lad out when I was at Newport. We took a lad, Connor Washington, out of, I think he was probably, I think it was below Ryman League One. You know, it's below that level. We paid £5,000 for him, and when he come down, we looked at him and we thought, this boy's got no chance. You know, but because he was playing with senior players, he went away. He worked hard on his fitness. He worked hard on his physique. He come back, and he was just a different player. Just being in that environment, and wanting to improve. He improved. We sold him by Christmas for, I think it was £400,000. So we do know that there is good talent around, and obviously I know the area. I mean, I only live. I know the level. I know what's out there. I know plenty of people in the area, and we've got good contacts in the pro clubs. So you know, we have got one eye on that, and that's something we will be stepping up now. Because with resources that we got, you know, we're going to have to lean on that a little bit, and you know, we're going to try and get one or two little gems out of non-league football, and I love seeing that, because you know, when you get them out of non-league football, they've got that different appetite about themselves. You know, they come in and every day's, you know, they come in and they can't believe that they're playing football every day, and they want to improve, and they're great to have around the camp. So. Yes, we will be keeping a big interest in that.